Welcome, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, programmers and humans and people. Welcome to the first video of me trying to smash conquer freeCodeCamp together. I thought that it might be useful for other people. We're gonna start with responsive web design. As you can see, I actually have some things done because I was pretty curious how they did it, but we're gonna go for all of these steps together. I wish it helps anybody. Um, if if no one will use it, no worries, no problem. If it helps somebody, I will be absolutely happy about it. Okay, so let's get to it. Basic HTML and HTML5. Introduction. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Well, and here is the first thing, because most people think that this is not a language. Some people say it is a language. But who am I to judge? I just use it. Everyone just use it. Um, and it works. Simple as that. So this is an example of basic structure. This is like a skeleton. Um, in every web, we have HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And we say that HTML is a skeleton of the web. CSS is like muscles or skin. And JavaScript is basically our brain where we program everything. So here is our simple example of HTML, which is actually exactly what we see down below. What do we have here? Not much really interesting. We will get to know everything in our lessons. Okay, so let's go into the first one, basic. Say hello to HTML elements. We will start by building simple web page using HTML. Alright. Opening tags, closing tags. Okay, so to pass the test on this challenge, change your h1 element text to say hello world. Okay, so basically I'm not gonna read exactly what is written over here. I will just try to explain it to you with my own words, because I believe that if you try to teach someone something, it's the best way to learn something. So I'm just gonna go hello world. And as you can see, we have opening tags and closing tags, h1 and h2, and closing tag at h1. Okay, so this is how we do it. I'm not gonna go extra on here. I'm just gonna go next code. Alright, we did it. Well done. Now you're a web developer. Congratulations. So, headline with the h2 elements. Okay, so basically we got h1, and we can go down. We can go h2, h3, h4, h5, and h6. And every single one of them is just make it smaller and smaller and smaller. Add h2 tag that says cat photo app to create a second HTML element below your hello world h1. Okay, so we basically need to do exactly the same thing. I'm just gonna copy that, paste it underneath, and change it to 2. And we need to change our inner HTML to cat photo app. Okay, see? So when we use higher number, we get smaller text. Run the text. Well done. To me, I guess. Okay, inform with the paragraph element. Alright, so we got a P element now. P stands for paragraph. Okay, create a P element below your H2 element and give it the text hello paragraph. Note as a convention, all HTML tags are written lowercase, for example, this and that. Yeah, you have to remember about it. So, we can just copy our hello paragraph. We go lower and we go P, opening tags, paste it, and we always close it with a backslash P. And as we can see, paragraph is just as we normally type without anything bolder. We run the test, complete, next one. Oh, but no, thank you. Fill in the blank with placeholder text. Okay, so basically that what will traditionally use lorem ipsum text. Okay, so lorem ipsum is a text generated. It has a really big history, but it is a text that basically means nothing. It's just, as you can see, it's weird stuff. It's really weird stuff. Replace the text inside your P element with the first few words of this kitty ipsum text. So what we need to do, need to copy some of it, and we need to paste it inside P. Let's run the test. Yep, well done. Next one. Uncomment HTML. So the way we comment HTML is by using bracket, exclamation mark, and 2 dashes, and we end up with 2 dashes and diapositive, like arrow. I mean arrow, not a bracket. Uncomment your H1, H2, and P element. Okay, so basically what you can do is by removing it by hand, like this, or you can also try using hacks and using control plus question mark. So you just mark everything, you use control and question mark. That's why you uncomment everything. You can comment it and uncomment it. Cool. Let's run. Good. Comment out HTML, another uncomment. Okay. Yeah, I remember that we use it. We need to end the comment below before H2 element begins. So comment out your H1 element and your P element, but not your H2 element. Okay, so basically this needs to be commented. So we uncomment it and we just put our indication here and it's done. Oh crap, not H2, shame on me. Alright, so do it like that and like this, so we got only cat photo app. Cool. Delete HTML elements. Okay, let's remove delete H1. I guess it's nothing simpler than that. Run the test. It's done. Boom. Introduction. Okay, so we have here some more and more main tags. Main, header, footer, nav, video, article, and section. Okay. So we will use now the main section. Create a second P element after the existing P element with following kitty ipsum text. Fluffy cap. Then create a main element and nest the two P elements inside the main element. Jeez Louise. Okay, create a second element after the existing, so we need to make here P and already removed. Close the P, so we won't remember, we won't forget. We just copy that, paste it in. Alright, then create a main element and nest the two P elements inside the main element. So we need to make a main element right here. We need to close it behind two elements, and because we are good web developers, we also do it with a with a tab, but it looks like it doesn't work like this. So what you want to do always is to make it space that you see that these pieces are inside the main, but it looks like it doesn't always work in a freeCodeCamp. But anyway, let's check this out, and we're heading to the next one. Add images. Okay, so images are added with a tag called img, and we can add them by using CRC attribute. Example, img src. Here we have our link. Note that img elements are self-closing. Yeah, exactly. This means that we do not close img behind it. So we can also use alt attribute. It's used for screen readers to improve accessibility and is displayed if the image fails to load. Yep. Also, we can see always when on the websites when we cannot load a photo, we can see some text instead of it. So this is exactly what it is for. Let's add an alt attribute to our image example above. Okay. So let's try to add an image to our website. Within the existing main element, insert an img element before the existing p elements. Now set the srs, which means source, attribute so that it points to this URL. Finally, don't forget to give your img element an alt element with an applicable text. Alright, so existing main element, insert img. We can already close it, so we won't forget. And inside, we can make src, which equals to this exactly specific link. We can copy that. We paste it. We got this little pussy. Don't mind me. And finally, we add some alt, which is little cat. Yeah, that's what I meant. Exactly. Let's run, and it's done. Cool. Link to external pages with anchor elements. Okay, so we use anchor, we use a tag. We use href attribute, so we can type our destination. This is an example. We open an A, we use our link in a href attribute. This is our link. This is the text that we want to attach a link to, and we also need to remember to close the tag. Okay, so create an A element that links to freeCodeCamp and has cat photos as an anchor text. Okay, we're gonna just copy the link. And where do we need it? Just let's create it here. A. Let's just close it already. And href, which is equal to, let's always remember about that, and we need to say cat photos. All right, and let's close a. As you can see, we have this anchor, and as we click it, it should take us somewhere. See, it took us to this beautiful page with cats, and yeah. Okay, let's keep on doing. Link to internal section of a page with anchor elements. Okay, so we don't always need to link it to our external pages. We can just hop into some specific articles. So to create an internal link, you assign a link's href attribute to a hash symbol, plus the value of the ID attribute to the element that you want to internally link to. Usually further down the page, you then need to add the same ID attribute to the element you are linking to. An ID is an attribute that uniquely describes an element. Yeah. So we can actually use ID in every single element. H2, main, A, img, T, this one. Every single one of them can be a different ID. Just like here. ID contact elements, contact header, and we can access to contact header by referring to this ID. Alright, so change your external link to an internal link by changing the href attribute to footer, and then text from cat photos to jump to bottom. Remove the target equals blank, which is actually making a new window tab. Then add an ID attribute with the value of footer to the footer element at the bottom of the page. Alright, so one step at a time. Changing the ref attribute. Okay, so this is our external. We need to change that to hash footer. Okay, and text from cat photos to jump to bottom. Cat photos to jump to bottom. Cool. Remove the target blank attribute from the anchor tag since this causes the. Okay, so let's just use it. You know what? I'm actually going to show you. If we don't remove it, a new tab would open. It actually opened, but yeah, you can see it. We don't want it, so we close it. We remove that, and we can now. Nothing is actually going to happen because we need to add this ID to our footer. And we have footer right here, and we got ID which equals to footer. And now we're gonna, well, the length of this page is too short, so we cannot actually jump. But I can guarantee you that it would work. Okay. Nest an anchor element within a paragraph. So we can make a specific word as a link. So nest an existing element, which is that one, with a new p element. The new paragraph should have text that says view more cat photos, where cat photos is a link and the rest is a plain text. Okay. So we need to nest that within the new p element. Let's just say we make a new element p like that. It doesn't matter if I use enter right here. Well, it actually mattered because it's called blank white space. But we're not gonna discuss it right now. I'm just already gonna close it so I won't forget. And the new paragraph should have text that says a few more cat photos. I'm gonna just copy it inside here, and where the cat photos is a link. So what we need to do is to actually make this an anchor link. So I'm gonna create a right here. I'm gonna close it behind it, and what we need to do is to basically add make a link, so it would go to a link to the new paragraph should have is a link and the rest is plain text. Is that all? Well, it actually is nested. I don't understand. Your A element should be nested within your new P element. This is my P element, right? Or am I wrong? It's like this, right? So what do we do wrong here? I don't know. Existing A element. Jeez Louise. Okay. Okay, so we need to take that and insert it here. No, we actually need to copy that just and insert it here. Okay, so now when we click it, it takes us to a blank page with more cats. Cool. Make that links using the hash symbol. Okay, so basically what we do is using this thing. Only the hash, which doesn't take us anywhere. We can click it. We can click it as many times as we want. The current value of the href attribute is a link to the points to this link. Replace the href attribute value with a hash, also known as a hash symbol, to create a dead link. Alright, so all we need to do is remove this thing with a hash. As you can see, oh crap, it takes me to a blank, but I don't want to. Alright, you're crushing it. Cool. 46%. Awesome. Okay. Turn an image into a link. We can actually make we can make a picture to be behaving as a link. If we just insert img inside our A element, it will behave like a element that can be clicked. Okay. So please place the existing image element within an A anchor element. Once you've done this, hover over your image with the cursor. Your cursor normal pointer should become the link clicking pointer. The photo is now a link. Oh my goodness. Cool. Okay. So we need to take that. We need to take that image, cut that, and put it inside here. Oh crap. No, I messed up. Click here to view more. What have I done? Control Z, Control C, and basically, okay, okay. So we need to do is to like get that and get that. All right, so before we go on, what I did here is just take a elements and put it over the image. So this link is actually accessed by clicking on this tab, which is between the A elements. So as you can see, as I'm pointing at the picture, it changes as a pointer. As I click it, nothing really happens because it's a hash link. All right, 50% done. We are doing good. Create a bulleted unordered list. So what we've got here is unordered list starts with an opening tag UL element followed by any number of LE, which is list. Finally, unordered list closes with this element. For example, we have unordered list, one item, two item, and closing. Remove the last two p elements and create an unordered list of three things that cats love at the bottom of the page. Okay. But what do they actually love? I don't know. Maybe I don't know what they like. But they want me to remove it. Okay. Let's just copy it, I guess. So what do they actually like milk? They like cheese and they might like me. Yeah, definitely. Let's just see. Let's just check this out. Cool. It's true. Create an order list. So this is exactly the same, but we're not gonna get dots over here. We're gonna get numbers. So create an order list with top 3 cats hate the most. Alright, so we're gonna actually copy that, paste it underneath our P paragraph, and Garfield, Sylvester, and cats don't like, I don't know, glass, because they always break a lot of glass. Yeah, that's true. Let's run. Cool. Create a text field. Okay, so let's create a web form, making an input. An input creates a text like that. Note that the input elements are self-closing. We don't close an input. Okay, create an input element of type text below your list. This is our list, and we can make many types of inputs, but I guess that will be explained later more clearly. Okay, and as we can see, we have here text and we can type whatever you want inside of it. Cool. Next one. Add a placeholder text to a text field. So basically, placeholder is a text that will be displayed inside this this text input. Yeah, simple as that. So set a placeholder value of your text input to cat photo URL. Okay, so I'm gonna copy that, and after the text I'm gonna say placeholder, and I'm gonna just paste it inside. So as you can see, cat photo URL is inside. I can type something, it disappears. Cool. Next one. Create a form element. Okay, so you can do this by specifying an action on your form element. So we need to actually close the form element. This is a block element. So nest an existing input element inside a form element and assign this link to the action attribute of the form element. Alright, so I have here the action attribute. So we have this input and we need to nest it inside a form element. So we're gonna make form, we're gonna close it, but we need to nest our input inside. So I'm gonna just do it like that, form, and assign this link to copy to the action attribute of the form element. So I'm gonna add action, which equals exactly this link. So let's run the test. Yep, cool. Add a submit button to a form. So basically, when here it is. Oh, cool. We need element called button with the type of submit. This button submits the form. Add a button as the last element of your form element with the type of submit and submit as its text. We also need to remember that all of this stuff, if we type something here and press submit, nothing will really happen. Oh crap. It happens here because there is some JavaScript behind it. But basically in your code nothing really will work because we need to assign it to JavaScript, the brain of our website, as I said earlier. Add the button as the last element of your form element. So here's a form, we have an input, we have a button with the type of submit and submit as its text. But it's already done. I guess. I don't know, maybe have I done it already? I guess I have done it. Yeah, I have done 2 exercises before. Okay, so basically what we need to do, create a button with type sub right here, wherever you want, and as you can see, it will appear on our screen as a button. Thank you. So we're gonna go back to submit, run the text. Cool. Let's just keep on doing it. Use HTML5 to require a field. Okay, so we use it by using required word. So as you can see in an example, we have our input with a type of the text, but we also add required. I'm going to copy this and make your text input a required field so that the user cannot submit the form without completing its field. When try to submit the form without inputting any text, see how your HTML5 form notifies that the field is required. Okay, so we have our input placeholder and we add required. So now, as we step in, I click the submit. Please make it make it write something, yeah? I love cats. Um, for example, right? We submit and it says thank you. Thank you to you too. Alright, so let's run the test. Here we go. Create a set of radio buttons. Alright, so we are beginning to work with the type of the radio. So each of the radio buttons can be nested within its own label element. By wrapping an input element inside of a label element, it will actually automatically, associate the radio button input with the label element surrounding it. All related radio buttons should have the same name attribute to create a radio button group. By creating a radio group by selecting any single radio button will automatically deselect the other buttons within the same group, ensuring only one answer is provided by the user. Here is an example of a radio button. Okay, so we have a label, input with the type of radio, name indoor, and this is our actually name. It's considered best practice to set a for attribute on the label element with a value that matches the value of ID attribute of the input element. This allows assistive technologies to create a linked relationship between the label and the child input element. For example, here we have a label for this type of input. So if we have ID indoor, we make a label for this indoor. So when we use JavaScript, for example, we will have these associated with each other. Add a pair of radio buttons to your form, each nested in its own label element. One should have the option of indoor and the other should have the option of outdoor. Both should share the name attribute of indoor-outdoor to create a radio group. Cool. So we have our input over here and we need to add some more. I'm just gonna copy that. We have, for example, two inputs, but we need radio. So I'm just gonna change it to radio, just like this one. We don't need a placeholder because it's not a text. We can stay with required, and we also need to nest these inside our label. I'm gonna copy that and make the same thing over here and over here. Okay, so as you can see, we have one label with a type of radio, one label with an input of a type of radio. So to your form, each nested in its own label. That's done. One should have the option of indoor for indoor, so we can actually copy from this. But we also need to remember that ID is indoor, indoor, and the other one is outdoor, right? Right. Outdoor. Cool. And we set that ID equals outdoor. All right. Both should share the name attribute of outdoor indoor. Okay, so we can just copy that from here. Work less, always the best. And we're gonna paste it right here. Cool. Let's run the test. One of your radio buttons should have the label indoor. Label. What do you mean? but it is indoor, right? Indoor, outdoor. What is wrong? What is wrong? I don't really know. Oh, I get it. Okay. The label itself should be so like we have here between label, it should be indoor. See? And here we have outdoor. Indoor and outdoor. We can click this and submit. Thank you. Thank you to you too. Let's run. Cool. Create a set of checkboxes. So this is just another type which looks like this. Let's just go into add to your form a set of free checkboxes. Each checkbox should be nested within its own label element. All three should share the name attribute of personality. Okay, so let's just leave these alone and let's make our own labels. Let's just copy that because why not? So here we have our label for loving, but we don't want loving, I guess. We're just gonna paste it 3 times. Cool. We have our pre-inputs with the type of checkbox. Each checkbox should be nested within its own label element. Okay, so we can, for example, make loving 1, loving 2, and loving 3. Like that. Cool. All we should share the name attribute personality. Okay, it matches. As we can see, here we have loving, loving, and loving. Not much of a choose, but it works. Cool. Next one. Use the value attribute with the radio buttons and checkboxes. Okay, so here we add a value of indoor and outdoor. Here we have 2 radio inputs. When the user submits the form with the indoor option selector, the form data will include the line indoor outdoor, which is indoor. This is the form, the name and value attributes of the indoor. Okay, so basically what we have here is something that we will use in JavaScript. So when our name, we will refer by the name in our JavaScript to the elements in HTML. These will have a special value. If we take an element that is checked by the name of indoor outdoor, it will have the value of indoor in our JavaScript. So just like it says here, the default value is on. So the value attribute needs to be set to something to identify the option. Okay, give each of the radio and checkbox inputs the value attribute. Use the input label text in lowercase as the value for the attribute. Alright, so Jesus Christ. So we need to make value inside our input. Let's make it between ID value, which is equal to indoor, which is our label text. Cool. We will just copy that and paste it right here, and right here. Okay, and let's just copy the text. Value indoor, value of loving, value of lazy, not here, here, lazy, and check this out. Oh, one of your radio buttons should have the value attribute of the indoor. Radio. Oh. Oh crap, I missed. Type indoor. Okay, so outdoor is here, loving is here, lazy is here, energetic is here. I guess that's all. Is that all? What is wrong with me? What are your checkboxes? Input. Oh my lord. Yep. Lowercase. Jeez Louise. L O I. Cool. Maybe now. Please. Huh? One of your radio buttons should have the value of indoor. radio. Too much stuff is over here. Input, checkbox, radio. Outdoor. What is that? What is that? We don't need that, do we? No, I guess not. Maybe now. Value. Okay. We need to make value equals to indoor, right? With the lowercase. Please. All right. Radio button. This is our label with value of outdoor. This is our label with the value of indoor. Am I correct, or is something wrong with me? Here it is. What does it say? One of the radio buttons. This is this is a type. Jesus, it's so messed up. Maybe now, please. Thank you. Cool. Jeez Louise. 86%. Go on. Check the radio buttons and checkboxes by default. Okay, so all we need to do is add checked. Set the first of your radio buttons and the first of your checkboxes to the both checked by default. First radio button. This is that one. We add it right here. And the first checkbox, which is right here. Let's do it like that. See, it's checked. Cool. Nest many elements within a single div element. Alright, so as you can see, our HTML is growing hard, so that's good. Nest your things cats love and things cats hate lists all within a single div element. And try putting your opening tag above your things cats love p element and encoding after the OL tags, so that both your lists are within one div. Okay, so so this is where we need to create our div, and we need to close our div right here. Yeah, I guess. So it's all, you won't see anything because we didn't add anything to this div, but it is there, trust me. Declare the doc type of an HTML document. Alright, so we need to declare the which version of, okay, let me just read it. At every single HTML document there needs to be a declaration like that. At the top of the document you need to tell the browser which version of HTML your page is using. HTML is an evolving language and it's updated regularly. Most major browsers support the last specification, which is HTML5. However, older web pages may use previous versions of the language. You tell the browser this information by adding this thing. Okay. Add a code type tag for HTML to the tag. Basically, you need to actually use this every single time in your HTML. So add a doc type tag for HTML5. So to the top of the blank HTML document, under it, add opening closing HTML tags which wrap around each one element. The heading can include any text. Okay. Your HTML goes here. So we can add actually h1 which says, for example, I'm tired, and we're just gonna close it. Yeah. Run. Good. And define the head and body of an element of an HTML document. So body and the head. We are just gonna go straight up inside. Edit the markup so there's a head in the body. The head element should only include the title. The body element should include the h1 and h2. Okay, so title, we add head and we close head, and we have our body. Cool, and that's it.
Alright, that's all. Thank you all for watching. I believe it was a little bit chaotic, but I will definitely try to explain it more precisely in dedicated HTML and CSS tutorials. So just let me know in the comments below if you liked it, if you want to see more, some kind of stuff like this. So let me know. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.